Hey, what's up guys? Steven, TheSalonGuy here, and today I've got Eddie, and Eddie's gonna be my model today. And the reason why this is so awesome is because Eddie's got great hair, and he's also trying to grow his hair, but he's in a transitional point where it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. It's kind of just straight down, not a whole lot of shape going on to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to clean up the layers here. As you can see, the ends here are a little bit dead here, so these need to be trimmed up. So as it grows out, it's gonna look healthier. I'm going to shape up the beard a little bit, clean him up nicely, but we're going to really try to maintain the length. But I wanted to show you guys this because he does have kind of that medium length hair, and a lot of you guys want to see tutorials with longer hair. So I'm going to get Eddie's hair washed, and then we're going to get started. So let's do it. Okay guys, so we're ready to start cutting Eddie's hair, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to comb it out, give it kind of a center part here, and I'm going to create the sections like I do in a lot of my videos, but because his hair is a little bit on the longer side than usual, I'm going to cut this like how I would for even like a woman's haircut tutorial, because there's a lot of women who have hair like this length and they want their hair like this, and you know, this is a really good length right now, but it's at also a very interesting stage because he wants to keep it growing and he wants it longer, but it needs to be trimmed. So we're going to be doing some light work as far as cutting the length, but it's going to be very detailed. So the first section I'm doing right in the back here. Now, just from combing this straight down, as you can see here, and what I'm seeing instantly is he needs a trim. I mean, his ends are a little, he's got split ends, so we have to get rid of those split ends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comb this straight down, just like this with my hands, lock in, and there I'm seeing the dead ends right there. So I'm going to just clean those off very lightly, and I'm pretty much going to cut a straight line, just like that. But keep in mind, I'm being also very cautious that I'm not cutting a lot of his length, and I'm one of those stylists that, like, if you say you want to trim, I'll literally skim it and give you a trim. Like, you know, there's a lot of hairstylists just say, oh, I want to trim, next thing you know, they're cutting like 3 feet of your hair off. Where me, I'm just cutting what I see and what it needs. So I'm being very cautious, but it's also, even just looking at that right there, the line is a lot more solid, and it's going to help him as he grows it out. So this is definitely crucial. So really I'm taking this all in one section right here and cutting it straight across. And then I comb it down on the skin, just like here, right on the neck, because sometimes those little hairs there want to pop out. So don't fight it, just kind of go with it. And I'm pretty much happy with this now. And then you can go back in, see his hair wants to jump out off the skin. So that's where I'm going to go in and cut it off the skin as well. Because sometimes you'll get little flyaways and hairs that pop out that weren't there when you held it with your hands. And here we are now into the corner. And with the corners, what I like to do is, again, comb everything kind of within this area right through here, because I don't want to start cutting into the sides. That's a whole different thing. So keeping it within this perimeter right through here usually works best. So now I'm going to connect this because I'm going to start my base here. The base of the haircut is always the most important. So here's the side now, here's the back, here's where they connect, and then there's the ends that need to be trimmed, and I'm just going to trim those. Now we're going to work on creating a little bit of an angle going upwards this way, just because he had that previously as it's growing out, and it needs to be trimmed anyway. So comb it straight down, and you're just going to follow the natural guide of where it was before. You don't want to really create too many new layers or disrupt the kind of shape that lives there now, especially since they're trying to grow it. But it's crucial to cut this because, you know, we want to clean up the ends, those dead ends. So I'm just creating a little bit of an angle going this way. And also, if he wants to wear it down, he can kind of give it a more scrunchy, kind of grungier look if he wants to wear it like that. So the face frame is always good. And he can let this grow out literally for like another 4 months after I'm done and not even do anything with it because it's going to grow out so well. That's bad news for me, but good for him. So I don't mind. I'd rather tell somebody, look, I want to see you in 3-4 months. And they come back and they're like, dude, whatever you did, because this happens all the time. People come back and I go, whatever you did, man, it grew out phenomenal. Because I cut hair to grow out. I know exactly what I want to do. And that's the difference between going to someone who's going to charge you $15 and butcher your hair compared to, paying a little bit of a higher price and going to someone who knows what they're talking about. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of saying that. But anyway. So here's the length now, all right? And what I'm going to do is just kind of give it a check to make sure it's all even here. Now, a lot of times when you're working off previous haircuts, sometimes I'll just be cutting it and I'll say, oh my gosh, one side is so much longer than the other side. That has nothing to do with me. It's because the last person that cut it. But we're looking pretty good. We're looking even. And I'm just going to take this down right in the middle, right in the center. And I'm just going to kind of point cut right here. And this is going to be the hair right into the front here, which is basically the face frame. And I'm just point cutting just to give it a little bit of a jagged edge there, which is totally fine. So that is the base of the haircut and the outline. I always say in my videos, you want to have a good outline when you're cutting. So now we're going to go into the layering. Okay, so now for the layers, this is also very, very important because this is what's going to really give the hair a little bit of shape as it grows out. Because right now I feel it's just one length. I mean, the hair just looks like this. So by creating layers, it's going to remove some of the weight, but it's also going to add some shape to it. So the best way to do this is to kind of comb it straight out from the head. And look, as you can see, when a hair goes like this in like a triangular shape where it's longer and then shorter, that means this is way too much weight here and it's not allowing the hair to move at all. That's what weight is, and layering removes the weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow where the shortest piece is down into here, which is more towards the base. And what I'm going to do is cut it following the head shape. So there's my first section. And then what I'm going to do now is continue this, working now down. And as you can see, here's the next section right in the middle. But now what happened is it's not so heavy. It's not like a really strong triangular shape. So now his hair is going to have a little more movement to it, especially as it grows out. So I'm just going to follow the same section, the same pattern throughout the whole back of the head. And when we get to the corners, I'm going to slightly pull towards, over-direct more towards me, just so we can maintain some of that weight into the corner. So let's finish this throughout the whole back of the head. And when we're done, I'll come back and then we'll be able to connect the back in through the side, into the top. All right, so the back is completely done. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect the layers from the back in through the top. And if you've seen a lot of my videos, this is the same thing that I do in all of them. Now, as you can see the shape here where it's getting longer and through here, I'm going to cut, that's what I'm cutting. So I'm cutting it so it's releasing some of that weight. So it's going to have a lot more movement to it and a lot more shape to it. And I'm going to do this all the way to the very, very top part of the back of the head right into here. So then I can use that as my guide to work towards the front. So it's very, very clear. You follow this pattern and it's going to basically stand out for you. The hair, I always say hair kind of talks to you, it speaks to you, it shows you where it needs to be cut. And right now his hair is screaming, cut me, right now. So that's what makes it easier for me, because I've been doing this for so long that I can see exactly where I need to cut it. But the key is not only just to have hair to cut, it's to know why you're cutting it. Now we are done with the back part and connecting it, and let's see what it looks like now. So here we go. Now we're bringing it up. So all this is going to fall out. So now we're at the very top of the head. So when we hold this straight up, look at all that hair up there. All right? That's what's causing his hair to not have any shape to it, because it's so long and so heavy. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting that to give it a lot more balance. And I like to always just go one step further to just cut it just past that where we just blended it, just to make sure we're all good and even and balanced. And then I'm going to hold everything straight up horizontally. And then I'm going to go into the corners. So don't cut too much of that area right here yet. So now let's spin Eddie towards the camera this way so you can really see. And this is where I have a problem of being so short. And Eddie's, what are you, 6'9", Eddie? So, all right, so now we're gonna comb this all back. Now I'm gonna kind of slice this hair in half right here for the section. And here's where you get to really, really see it. So comb it straight up, and there's the guide right underneath. And we're gonna cut it now straight across, like this. And now we're pretty much home free because we have the guide. It's gonna show us where we need to cut, and it's gonna remove that excess weight that was causing Eddie's hair to just kind of lay flat. All right, so even though you're growing it, I'd rather have him grow it with a nice shape to it than have it just kind of, you know, when he wears it down, have no shape, which is really, really important. Here's the last section right on the top here, and we're done. So now let's connect the corners here and in through the sides. So what I'm gonna do, comb it straight out from the head. There's the corner right there that needs to be cut. And now we're gonna extend it down into the bottom. There again is the weight right there. I'm not cutting the length is dropped out. And that's what you wanna leave. You wanna leave that length because we're growing it. So there's the corner. So let's follow the same pattern throughout both sides of the head to where everything is cut and we're all nice and even. And then we'll come back and take a look at his hair, and then we're gonna trim up his beard. Now I'm just gonna shape up his beard a little bit, and I'm going to use a 3 3/4 guard. And this is pretty much one of the longer guards, but it's gonna cut, you know, a decent amount off so it's not so bushy. So it's really gonna clean him up pretty nicely here. So I'm just gonna go throughout the whole thing, and he's got a great beard, which he's lucky. I wish I can grow a beard. So I'm just gonna bring this up to about right into here, right to where the hair starts to get a little bit longer, because I don't wanna cut into the longer hair, which we're growing, but I also wanna keep this nice and neat too. So we can actually put this behind his ear and have this look nice and neat as well. So I'm gonna go throughout the whole beard area by doing this, and when we're done, we'll take a look and see how everything looks. Then we'll clean him up, and then we'll start to actually finish and style his hair. All right, we are getting there. I can see you're really high maintenance, Eddie. This is a lot of work, holy cow. But now Eddie's looking really good, and he hasn't seen this yet, but everyone who's watching, I want you to see now with his hair wet, the difference of the shape. This is no product, nothing in his hair, and the comparison of what it was like before is a huge, huge difference, because before it just kind of laid flat and there was nothing going on. So now he's got shape to it, it looks a lot more clean. And now for styling, I'm using Tidal Wave, which I think is great for Eddie's hair. Now Eddie's never smelled this before. What do you think? It smells amazing, right?
It smells beautiful.
It smells like paradise. It smells like the ocean, just not the Jersey Shore, you know? All right, so I'm gonna spray this throughout his hair. Now what this is gonna do for him, it's gonna give a very nice light hold and nice texture to his hair. Almost like if he came out of the ocean, but Tidal Wave doesn't leave your hair really grimy. It's not one of those traditional sea salt sprays that's just so heavy, but it's enough to give it something. And he's got really, really thick hair. So if Eddie wanted to, he can literally just like let his hair air dry and be good with it and just have like a nice shape, and he can kind of have that grungy kind of look. So air drying is one option. What I'm gonna do now is I wanna blow dry it, and then we'll see what other product I can use in his hair if I need to use anything. So let's blow dry it and see how it looks. Okay guys, so Eddie hasn't seen this yet, but I just want to break down for you guys how it looks and what I did. So let's get a nice shot of the back here with Eddie's hair. As you can see here, what I did is it really now has some shape to it, so it's not just hanging straight down. And the Tidal Wave, I think, was enough to style it, to give it a nice hold, a nice texture. So now here's one way he can wear it, is literally just kind of tuck it behind his ear if he's busy working. So now he's got a nice shape to it, because before it was so heavy it would look like this. But now the way I layered it and textured it really, really enhances his shape. So this is a really good way if you wanted to wear it more of a clean look, something where you can more dressed up, which is totally cool. Now let's take this down so you can see, say he wanted to go for more of like a grungier type look. I think this looks great too. Same thing, now he's got that layering in through here, which now softens it up, and you can even brush it back, scrunch it a little bit, and now it's got that great texture and that great shape, which I really like. You can do the same thing on this side here. So I think this looks incredible. Really easy to maintain and really easy, you know, to work with. So you can let it air dry. You can use Tidal Wave, then dry it like I did, and come up with a nice variety of looks here. I'm just going to tuck this behind his ear here because I like how that looks. And now we're ready to do the grand revealing. Now Eddie's been looking in the camera monitor a little bit to try to cheat and see, but you ready to see the real deal?
I'm ready.
All right, hold this here. Take a look.
Oh, wow.
What do you think, man?
Much cleaner.
Isn't it amazing?
Absolutely.
See the shape you have?
Yep.
Now watch this. Now I bring this down. Look at that, man.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Awesome.
Looks amazing, right?
Great.
Before it was just so heavy and it just laid flat.
You can feel it.
Now look at it, man. Run your fingers through it, man. You got to get used to that flow.
Absolutely. Wow, it's great.
It's amazing, right?
Absolutely.
What do you think of the beard?
I like it. Looks good.
I did pretty good, huh?
Looks great.
I get lucky once in a while, Eddie.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm keeping Eddie seated because he's like 6'9". And if he stood up, his head would be way above, you wouldn't even see it. So, but Eddie, man, thanks so much for coming down. And how do you feel, man?
Looks great. Thank you so
You like
much.
it?
Absolutely.
I'm going to call him Nice Guy Eddie because he's a real nice guy. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And I'll see you guys next time for more tutorials with a salon guy.